I fell into a burning ring of fire, went down, 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 and the flames went higher, and it burns, burns, burns.
All right, so we're going to get into our serpentine cut on the flat roof for a commercial building. We're going to watch Captain Selick here perform the cut and talk about it a little bit. All right, Captain Selick's on the roof here performing a serpentine cut. Now, the reason why you do this serpentine cut on a commercial building is because it's a very large cut and it's pretty efficient and fast. This cut is like having two residential cuts side by side. That will also depend on the width between your rafters or trusses. Cut could be a lot larger. We want this cut adjacent to the fire, so we have time to perform the cut and finish it and not be in a dangerous position on the roof. Our smoke indicator holes on this cut can be either inside the cut or outside the cut. It doesn't really matter depending on how the company wants to do it. The fire officer will obviously be heads up, watching the fire conditions and also watching the progress of his or her firefighter performing this cut. The cut is finished, and then Captain Selick here is coming up to lower the panels that he cut out, and we want to lower towards the fire, not away from the fire. And Captain Selick is down on one knee, so his center of gravity is lower, so he doesn't fall through his cut when he's checking to see if there's a ceiling, cockloft, whatnot, that's maybe inhibiting his ventilation. So now we're going to watch it in slow motion, and we're going to break down the cut a little bit more. So Captain Selick is coming up to begin with his ID cut. See with the red arrow there, the ID cut is 90 degrees from the truss until Captain Selick finds that truss. We know which way the trusses are going from our inspection cut that we did when we first went up on the roof. And once we find that truss, we're going to rotate 90 degrees and actually start the serpentine cut. Pause the video again. As you watch Captain Selick make his steps on this serpentine cut, he's taking large side steps, bringing the chainsaw midline. The reason we want to do this is so that we decrease our chances of injuring ourselves with the chainsaw when we're making this cut. Turns 90 degrees again. He's going to roll one truss or rafter and then stop at the second. Turn 90 degrees again. Come back. Taking large side steps. Then he's going to skip the third truss and go back the opposite direction. And repeat the process of rolling one, stopping at two. Now, as you can see, Captain Selick is putting his brake on each time he switches hands with the chainsaw or position of the chainsaw to also decrease the chance of injuring himself while he's performing this cut. Forgot a nail on that panel there. Popped up on us. Okay, so Captain Selick is getting ready to make his last cut here. I'll pause the video really quick. Before this last skim cut, when we're going to be rolling all the trusses to finish our serpentine cut, second firefighter would need to put a tool down here so that Captain Selick has a reference to work towards. And the reason we want this tool down is so that he doesn't pass the tool falling in towards his cut. So he has to make sure that he keeps his body behind that tool and cut towards it. So now he's rolling every single rafter. All right, so now since he's done with this cut, he's going to come up with this tool, and he's going to louver the panels here. Like I said, we want to make sure that we louver towards the fire, not away from the fire. So depending on building construction on this cut, the panels could be pretty stout or hard to move, and we might need 2 firefighters. So if you pay attention to the cursor again, we'll have one person pushing down over here on this side or pulling, and have another person down in this other corner doing the opposite, so that you can have a little bit more strength behind louvering those cuts there, and to repeat the process again on the second section. So once you louver them, like I said, Captain Selleck is down on one knee and punches through the ceiling or anything that's inhibiting his ventilation. Pause the video again here. If he's doing that on that side, the other firefighter could be doing the same on this other side, getting down on one knee, so they could quickly punch through the ceiling. So he's done with the punching through. So once he's done punching through, or the firefighters are done punching through, we're going to have the fire officer look at conditions. He's going to be looking at his horizontal openings, making sure that he gets an intake from his horizontal openings, make sure he has a lot of smoke and fire hopefully coming out of his cut. Also radio in to the engine crews that are inside attacking the fire and see if they are lacking conditions. If conditions are improved for them, then they know they have an effective cut. If they don't, then they're going to repeat the process of this cut, probably further down away from the fire, not cutting closer towards the fire, because these cuts do take some time. And so those are your serpentine cuts, or a serpentine cut. And we'll move on to the next one.
I fell into a burning ring of fire, went down, 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 and the flames